right, let's head back to Florida now, where Jack is streaking. Oh, no, my bad. He's talking about streaks. Whew, that was a close call, Brandon. Jack, take it away.
So we're talking about streaks today. You know, there's types of streaks. There's streaking, obviously. Some can be good, can be fun. There's losing streaks. There's winning streaks. Let's focus on winning streaks, not only from a team perspective, from a gambling perspective. How do we take advantage of these streaks? From a team's perspective, understanding how you handle losses after a big winning streak is as important as anything. You don't want one loss to become two losses. There's a ton of parity in the league. Defensive coordinators are watching what you're having success at, and they're making those adjustments. Teams like Jacksonville that's on a streak right now, Baltimore, Kansas City ran off 6 straight before losing to Denver. After those losses, how do you rebound and not make one loss turn into 2 or 3? That's important. Mixing it up, thinking of things critically each and every week from a game plan standpoint, understanding that people are watching, and if they see you have success, they're going to want to neutralize that and make you do something else. From a gambling perspective, it's almost easier to take advantage going contrarian to these streaks. Once teams are streaking, either positive or negatively, and certainly positively, value's left the building. All right, there's no value. You're giving more points than you're supposed to, and in a league full of parity, you can't follow those streaks as it relates to the number each and every week. So finding those spots where maybe teams are in the middle of a winning streak, but it has a lot to do with turnovers, 4 turnovers, plus 4 turnover the category, those type things, you can then go contrarian to that, not expecting them to continue being +3 or +4 in the turnovers. From a gambling standpoint also, this is the time. It's never good to press your bet up when you're losing. That's how you go broke and you're having to deal with your Uncle Eddie who says he knows everything about sports gambling at Thanksgiving and you can't bet because you're broke because you've chased a losing streak. Winning streaks are the time to go ahead and push it up. I personally am more conservative than most in this category. A lot of guys will say, hey, if you run off 11-2, 12-1, those type weeks, which I had a couple weeks ago, you should be doubling or tripling your bet going forward. I go up 50% at the most, so raising your bet during winning streaks always a good way to capitalize on profit in these streaks, but always be careful, remember parity, and you've got to stay out in front of that curve. Think critically each and every week if you're betting these games, because streaks are made to end, and they'll happen if you're not careful, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
And the wrong side of that, Teddy, is losing streaks.
Sure, exactly. And Jack got to talk about winning streaks. He's been winning all year with his best bets. I had Seattle last week, plus the points in Baltimore, and that was as bad a loss as you're going to get. So I get to talk about losing today. But there's 2 things I want to talk about here. One, personally. All right, the most important thing if you personally are in the midst of a losing streak, breathe. Don't panic. Don't lose focus. Don't bet bigger. Jack talked about that. Focus on betting what you know, and maybe you do want to ride some streaks if you're struggling with your own wagers. When it comes to teams that are struggling, look, against the spread, look at Buffalo right now. Pretty good team, dismal point spread record. They've been overvalued and may well continue to be overvalued moving forward. Look for some teams that are pretty good with bad spread records. Teams like Atlanta, New Orleans, Denver's decent teams that have struggled early on. They could be moneymakers moving forward.